Hi, Akron Marathon race fans.
I'm Joe Thomas, a deputy metro editor at the Akron Beacon Journal.
And I'm Paula Schleis, a reporter at the Beacon Journal. And we are taking you on a driving tour of the Akron Marathon race course. And today,
Leg 5.
Leg 5. The marathon course is broken up into 5 segments so that people can tackle this as 5-person relay teams. So today we're going to do 5.
And that's right. We thank you if you've been along the ride with us for our first 4 segments. And this is the one that's going to take us home.
Without further ado, let's go home. All right, so we are on Idlewild, moving away from Hardesty Park, which was the end of relay zone number 4 and beginning 5.
Heading back up to one of several sections of the course where runners will pass each other going in different directions.
That would be on Garmin Road.
Yeah, Garmin, just a couple blocks from here. You'll be able to see traffic flowing in both directions, which is always pretty neat.
It's a lot of fun, especially runners who have been kind of in the running community. You get to start seeing some of your friends and passing them on the course, and it's always fun to do that. Garmin is probably one of the most dreaded little spots in the entire course.
I think I know why.
Is it obvious?
Well, I actually have run this neighborhood last year when I was training for a 5K, and I think when we get closer we can talk about why.
Let's talk about the good things about Garmin. Is there are block parties along here. There are residents who register as official block party locations with the Akron Marathon, and the marathon staff gives them some stuff to help them in their celebration, cowbells, t-shirts, and the like. And so they are going to be out here in full force supporting the runners.
Now, as we head up to Castle, we'll be hitting one of those spots where the course is running in both directions. And I don't know if you can really tell from your view here with us, but that road straight ahead is kind of a killer hill, isn't it?
It is. They even give it it has its own nickname. Heart Rate Hill.
Heart Rate Hill.
I recommend to everyone, if you're not a hill runner, you might want to walk this hill, because it can really take a lot out of you, and then when you get to the top of it, you don't have a lot left to get back.
Some beautiful old houses in this neighborhood.
There are, well, why don't you tell people why this street is named Portage Path?
Well, I believe it has to do with the fact that this was the connecting point between the Tuscaroras and the Cuyahoga Rivers for the Indians who lived here long ago.
Yeah, Akron is on a continental divide. So part of the city, the watershed flows south towards the Ohio River, and on the northern end of the city, the water flows north towards Lake Erie. So the river cannot go over the continental divide. So when the Native Americans were traveling, they would get to Akron, the Tusk River would stop, and they would have to get out, put their canoes over their heads, and hike them several miles along this very route. and get to the Cuyahoga River where they could put their canoes back and continue on their way to Lake Erie.
I've often thought, why don't they make the runners do the canoes on this stretch?
Well, you know what? There is a race that does that. Just this summer, somebody organized a race to celebrate the Portage Path by having runners carry canoes. So if that's your thing, they can make that happen.
As we pass Twin Oaks here, we'll be entering the Highland Square neighborhood. Highland Square, of course, every summer with its porch rocker and its all kinds of festivals all through the year. You can imagine that folks will be out in force along this stretch as well, cheering along the runners as it goes through the race, goes through their neighborhood.
Highland Square is just one of my favorite Akron neighborhoods. It's just got such a bohemian vibe, and it's so diverse. You can walk into the coffee shop and you'll see a man in a business suit next to, some kid in Bermuda shorts with a guitar strapped to his back. It's just a very fun place. And this corner here is really fun for spectators who come to the Mustard Seed, because they've got a cafe up top. And that, let me see if I can move this. Maybe you can see a little bit of up there. And they're just hanging there over the railings, shouting down at the runners as they make this turn onto West Market. And we had, I belong to a group called the Blue Line Beginners, and they are people who are running the Akron Marathon race series for the first time. And we did a trial run of these courses a couple of weeks ago, and I asked them for their insights. And so let me read you a couple letters I got people who did this leg. We heard from Jen Klein, who said, I ran leg 5 today. Garmin Hill wasn't as bad as I heard, but was still tough. Portage was a beast, but going back down Market was great. I didn't even realize there is an incline there on Portage that'll get you. But you're going to make up time right here as we turn onto West Market. And then I also heard from Amy Baird, who said, I'm running leg 5 of the relay, and it is pretty smooth sailing. The toughest part is the hill on Garmin. Otherwise, it is a very nice run. It definitely brought back memories running through there. My best friend back when I was a child lived on Idlewild, and my babysitter lived off Garmin, so lots of memories. It was also great to see how much Highland Square has grown. It has been several years since I've been in the area, and I am extremely excited about race day. So I love hearing from runners who are like, the course goes through their areas where they were raised, or places that they had lived, and they just kind of get to relive those memories.
Right. I've had the experience of having the marathon come right down my street. It's it's become one of those things that is as much Akron as anything else, be it the blimp or the rubber ducks. You have a sense now in this community that this is a community that runs. I remember the late 1990s, I was visiting my sisters in Cincinnati, and it seemed like there were just hundreds of people just out there running every day, all the time, and I thought, that's strange, I don't see that in my hometown. Now, I don't think twice about it. There are people out there all the time running, and I gotta believe that the marathon has a big part in the running bug that's really taken off in this town.
Absolutely. Joe, have you ever thought of running yourself?
I have. I may have mentioned this to you earlier. Last year I wanted to join a relay team, and so I started training. And I did so in a way that I maybe didn't do everything I should have done. I didn't think about looking into running shoes, and so I went out and I ran the ADM board 5K, and I had a great time doing it, but it killed my knees. So I was out for the rest of the summer running wise. I'd like to build back toward that.
Well, one of the fun things about belonging with a group of beginners, as is the Blue Line Beginners, is we're learning everything from scratch, and we are learning how to do it the right way. Buying the right shoes, even if they cost $100, saving up and doing it right so that you don't injure yourself. And as I've said before, a lot of people walk these events. You can't walk the marathon. It would take way too long to finish. But there are people who walk the half marathon. And there are people who walk the relay legs if you're walking fast. And the other, the 8K and the 10K in the race series that were earlier this summer, lots of walkers. The marathon encourages all levels of activity. This is really an everyman's event. I mean, when you're in the race, race day, you are just amazed at the different shapes and sizes and ages and ability levels of people. It's just a celebration of community and being outside and trying to be healthy. And it's for everyone.
And I have to think that as we're closing in on the final stretch here, this downhill here by St. Vincent's has got to be a real pleasure for the folks who are running this race and knowing that they're just about to hit the finish line. We're heading back up on Market, heading up toward Main Street.
We're just right here at the next light. We're going to be turning for the home stretch.
It just blocks away really from the finish line.
So we've got a hill here, and that knowledge is what's going to help people up this hill, knowing that they're just making this final turn. Because you know what, this is kind of a significant hill. When you are this late in the race, any kind of incline is hurting.
Right.
Knowing that you are coming into the home stretch.
One last hurdle, but why not? You've made it this far.
Absolutely. King James Way. I see the street signs here. We're on Main Street, but
yes.
They also call it King James Way for LeBron James. And back there for the second time, we passed St. Vincent High School, which is where LeBron went to high school and earned fame before he even graduated.
To the left we have our main library, and to the right up here we'll have the heart of downtown, the Cascade Plaza area with what is now the Huntington Tower.
Somebody's bumper. Downtown has gone through such a renaissance over the last 20 years. Way back in the 90s, it was so, about 3/4 of downtown was empty. And the Beacon did a story, and you could have bought like most of downtown for
I remember the boarded up storefronts.
$1 million you could have owned this street. And now it's just restaurants and clubs and wonderful activities. Canal Park, which is you're going to be seeing here, is something that really helped to bring a lot of people back downtown.
And of course the race will bring thousands of people downtown.
Yeah, if you want to be a spectator and get the most out of it, you want to come downtown. You want to be down here around 6 a.m. so you can get here before the closing of the roads and find a parking space. But because the runners come through downtown 3 times in 3 different ways, you just have to move a block back and forth to keep seeing the action. And then you're really close to Canal Park, where you can go in and watch the finishers crossing the line.
Speaking of Canal Park, that's it right there in front of us.
This is it. Let me take this off, and we are going to there we go. As we go by here, right here is where the runners are going to be turning into the park. They're not going to be going in the main entrance. They're going to be coming down this field. You think we can pull over here? And the runners are going to be going right down there. The blue line is going to take them into the park. And this is where our story ends.
We want to say thank you for coming along with us, especially those of you who've gone through all 5 segments of this video series with us.
Yeah, and hopefully we left a few surprises for you because it is fun experiencing the course for the first time. But there are a lot of surprises that you don't want on race day, and hopefully we will make this race a little more comfortable for you.
And hopefully we'll see you out here Saturday, September 23rd, 7 a.m. sharp. All of you.
And good luck.